In the shadowed corners of a fictional realm, there exists an enigmatic figure, seemingly harmless in appearance but harboring a malevolent essence beneath the surface. This entity exudes an aura of manipulation and discord, effortlessly entangling those nearby with a charming yet sinister facade. His motives remain shrouded in obscurity, and his intricate web of schemes defies comprehension, ensnaring others within his eldritchian grasp. Like a cosmic horror from beyond the stars, his insatiable hunger for power and control transcends mortal understanding, leaving those who encounter him paralyzed by fear. Unveiling his true nature feels akin to peering into an abyss, one that reflects a darkness far beyond the realm of human comprehension. If I were talking about some sort of absolute mad lad, some character of extreme strength and renown, perhaps he wouldn't be as terrifying as the person I'm actually talking about. I am talking about the truly biggest menace to society I have ever witnessed in my many years of consuming media. As someone that has always felt drawn to an anime menace or two, I have never ever seen a character exude this level of malice, cruelty, and straight up Eldritchian cosmic horror as the insurmountably terrifying and evil child that is Eric Cartman from South Park. Every once in a while, a character so evil and so cruel shows up that even I, someone who relates to every single psychopath on the planet, cannot even get myself to even slightly respect and love this man. I am someone who has openly stated that Hisoka from Hunter x Hunter is a character that I have nothing but respect for, and I adore him, okay? He is my favorite character in the show, and just that statement has gotten me canceled on Twitter in the past, and so I'll say it again because Twitter is known for, you know, reusing ammo, so I'm sure that they're gonna love this one. But even I, the guy that relates to every psychopath and sociopath in fiction, cannot bring myself to relate to Cartman. He is too menacing for even me. When you think of a menace to society, I honestly can't think of any character that embodies that better than Cartman. You have someone like the Joker, who everyone talks about as a menace because he killed some dude, or he's crazy, or he blows shiz up for the fun of it. Cartman is everything and more. I think there needs to be a level of pettiness that comes alongside a menace to society to really be considered a menace, because when someone has a really good motivation, they are somewhat predictable in the fact that when they are motivated to do something cruel and horrible, they'll do it. You see, Cartman does not even need a motivation. His pettiness makes him even scarier. The fact that this Genji kid or whatever is pissing him off, so he decides the correct course of action would be to cause the death of the kid's parents, take their corpses, are you following? Grind them up, are you still listening? Turn them into chili, are you following and listening and following and listening? And feed the parent chili to the son as a flex. Literally as revenge. Literally to be like, ha ha, you just ate your parents, you just ate your parents. And he starts actually literally dancing around talking about it. This is not someone to write off as just a kind of an asshole. This is someone who has taken the meaning of menace to society and flipped it on its head to the point that he embodies the phrase better than any other character in fictional history. The fact that this literal child wanted to take his friend's place and get invited to a party in Casa Bonita, so he convinces his friend that friend's entire family was killed in an apocalypse and hides him in a bunker where he thinks the entire world has ended in order to take his place and go to a party because, well, that slot opened up. This is aside from all the incredibly insensitive things he said about, you know, black people and Jews and gay people and trans people and any other possible group you could think of that he has definitely said slurs about and made fun of in the past. That, at this point, all that incredibly cancelable stuff on Twitter, that's not what makes him a menace to society. That makes him edgy if you compare it to the absolute depth that he goes in order to truly dig graves for his adversaries. In my relatively shallow experience with South Park, I have seen some things that this twisted child of oblivion has done that makes my hair stand up and makes my penis shrivel. This man ended up contracting AIDS. For whatever reason, it's a South Park plot, it doesn't matter. And someone's like, Kyle, his friend's like, bro, Cartman got AIDS. That's kind of funny, because he's always like making fun of gay people and stuff. So you know what Cartman does? You know what this little fucking savage monster does? You know what this absolute menace to society decides to do? In middle of the night, he breaks into Kyle's house. He takes a syringe and takes out some of his blood. And he pours it into Kyle's mouth while he's sleeping. He literally gives Kyle AIDS so that the next day he can make fun of him for it. Bro, this is his best friend. Imagine what he does to his enemies. Just for the meme of it, he gives a pair of goggles to his friend, and he's like, yo, this is an Oculus Rift. Anything that happens in the goggles is just part of a video game. It's not actually real. And with the goggles, he manipulates his friend into hurting people around them and assaulting his own parents because he thinks it's part of a game. And Cartman's just there cackling like, ah, what a knee slapper. We totally fooled him. Prank, bro. This is a little child that is so cruel, vindictive, and manipulative. There is nothing I could possibly say that puts him in any form of redeeming light whatsoever and put him in any form of fashion that doesn't label him as a menace to society. He watches some videotapes about Hitler and he becomes a raging anti-Semite. So what does he do? You're probably thinking, well, he probably, you know, says some not nice things to Jews or something. I mean, we've watched Sneeko online. He says not nice things to Jews because he's an anti-Semite. No, you little fool. Man literally cosplays Hitler and forms a new Third Reich. Man literally goes up there and starts giving incredibly terrible speeches, convincing people with an ungodly power of charisma to turn an entire town into neo-Nazis. If that's not a menace to society, I don't know what is. And this isn't the only time this little child has exhibited such an incredible level of manipulation to the point that an entire society collapsed beneath his incredibly large stomach. We fat shame on this channel, but only when it's deserved. Now, I am not a menace to society. I am the cure. God damn it, I'm gonna get so canceled. It gets to the point that the principal of the school tells Wendy, this girl that this freaking asshole Cartman has been harassing for the last 20 freaking seasons. The principal turns to Wendy and says to Wendy, I know you're supposed to fight Cartman right now, and you promised that you wouldn't fight him and stuff like that, but let me tell you a thing about cancer, because I had breast cancer. Cancer must be destroyed. Cancer is a cruel thing that adds nothing to the world, and cancer should be annihilated. She basically provokes Wendy into beating the crap out of Cartman in front of anybody, which again is incredibly cathartic and potentially one of the greatest times I've ever seen a man eat dirt. Like, my God, all these new Hollywood shows that's putting, you know, getting women to beat up men, blah, blah, blah. South Park is teaching you how to write a strong female character. God damn it, I'm literally gonna get so canceled. Why? Why do I do this to myself? I like put my whole foot in my mouth every time. But if the principal of the school is more or less advocating for violence toward a literal child, well, then this literal child is quite the issue. Now, I've mentioned all of these things that goes to show that he is without a doubt a menace to society. He is a chaotic force that definitely should not be underestimated and should not be respected. I've talked a lot about different menaces to society in my time, whether it's manipulation or it's just straight up power level of destruction. Cartman has both. Cartman is so manipulative and evil that he manages to convince the outer entity, you know, the outer god, the Lovecraftian deity Cthulhu, to become his friend. This man manipulates Cthulhu into obeying his every order and just starts basically zapping people out of existence. This man is not just a threat on a physical level or on an emotional level, but this man is a threat on a psychological level. Batman with prep time would have no chance against this literal child. Goku would be annihilated from the face of the earth because of the demonic and unaging evil within Cartman. I don't even want to picture a reality where this literal Satan spawn grows up. And thankfully I won't, because he's forever immortalized in this creepy, cartoonish South Park art style, and he will never ever escape it. If anyone ever asks you, wait a second, you're a Nux fan? Don't you know that he supports murdering children? your response should be, only if they deserve it. Why am I doing this to myself? I literally don't need to do this. Why? You're welcome, X.com. I'm out here giving you content forever. Over the course of many seasons, we've seen South Park go through many iterations of Cartman's evil carnage and terror, but one thing is for certain. This man, without a shadow of a doubt, is absolutely one of the biggest menaces to society I have ever witnessed, and he is someone that should not be taken lightly in the slightest. It's kind of ironic. I talk about actual gods among men, demons destroying humanity, the absolute most terrifying and powerful of humankind, and to be frank, the one that can defeat almost all of them. When it comes to menacingness to society, it is this literal child from an American cartoon. And not even diabetes could stop him. I know we view South Park through the lens of it's just comedy, but if you even take the briefest of moments and look at this character as an actual character for a moment, you are witnessing the eyes of the abyss. Because when you stare at it, it stares right back at you. Eric Cartman, the biggest ever menace to society.